Hello children. Hi Ishan, Shartul, Sitiksha. Am I audible? Okay, Sitiksha, thanks a lot. We'll just wait for one more minute. If somebody join. Okay, Veer came in. Okay. Hi Veer. So what is this NPS ITPL? Veer. I'll be happy in case you guys are not able to unmute. Okay. You're starting from you're joining from mobile, is it? Oh, then how come? So you should be, and you would be able to see an option at the bottom, right? Okay, good. So anybody who was able to collect material for today? Fine, children. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so just like this. So to see, right? Okay. Yes, no. Are you able to see my screen? Okay, so meanwhile, see, I would be happy in case you guys, like somebody, at least one of you, like unmute and speak. What happens is while I'm building, I cannot like uh, keep checking the chat because I've bent my camera. Else, I have an option. Wait, I'll attach one another camera so that I do not bend my screen. Just Okay, done. Fantastic. Good. Okay, children. So now, can you all tell me like what are the different methods by which we generate electricity? Okay, can you keep telling while I'm building? What are the different methods by which we generate electricity? Any idea? You can tell me like all the possible methods you guys know. I'm waiting for you guys to type in. Just a minute. I'm just taking something to type this. Okay, what are the different methods we generate electricity? I'm waiting for you guys to like type in something. So which classes are you in? Can you all just type in Sudiksha, Veer, and who else? Shardul, Ishan. Could you just type in which grades you guys are studying in? Sidiksha, who is sixth grade? Veer and Shardul is seventh grade. Okay, Sidiksha. And I see a lot of you like I think you're from Millennium National School, is it? Who all I see like Ishan Pandey, Shardul, and both from Millennium. Is it so? The name Millennium, does it mean it's Millennium National School? Shardul, is that Millennium National School? Hmm. Okay, children. So, but I haven't got the answers yet for my question. I asked you like, what are the different methods by which we generate electricity? Okay, yeah, got it. Okay. So anybody who wants to answer what are the different methods by which we generate electricity? Spinning water in very high speed. Okay, who tells this? Veer, and what else? Just keep telling, keep telling. I'll require another 2 minutes by the time I finish building the demonstration for you. So I do this like during the class just because to show you guys that it's easy to build the experiments. Okay. So the idea of this, the PrayogPeti concept is that we want you all to set up a small laboratory at home. So that's the whole idea. Okay, the PrayogPeti box has so many material that you can basically do all the experiments that is there in a textbook for this entire year. So, but while you're doing that is you can easily set up a small lab at home, and these material are like pretty reusable. That you can use one material to do other experiment, and you can create something on your own as well. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Okay, so with the help of the wind, somebody has said like with the help of the wind. Okay, good. What else? What are the other ways to generate electricity? Veer has given both answers. Is it like others? Why don't you just pitch in? So I'm not actually doing. I was hoping that you guys would have the material with you. So I'm not doing that activity which for which the material is which I had sent. Okay, because that's an activity. That's a very simple activity. I thought like, and also the material was like little bit easy to get. Okay, so that's the reason. Like, yeah. So does any of you have the PrayogPeti with you? Like you have like taken the PrayogPeti? Any of you? Okay, see what I'm doing. Okay, so I fixed this and I fixed this and there's a motor I fixed, and now I'm just making some small connections. Okay, so this experiment I'm doing is with respect to electricity generation. Okay, so I'll show you how we can generate electricity. Okay. Uh, okay, so this we call it as a pulley. It's a big pulley. Okay, I put a nut to it. So even on the other side as well, I will put a nut. Okay, and I want to insert something here. Go by push. It's not going, so I'll just use it. So I have to just turn it. I just want it to come on the other side. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to tie this. See, this was actually such an uh, easy thing to build. Okay, I don't know what should happen. Okay, did you see what happened just now? I just tried doing something and like something happened. Geothermal energy, yes, we're very good. Okay, many things that there are many methods how we do it, children. But see, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to just spin the wheel. You see what happens. The light is glowing when I spin the wheel. When I stop, it doesn't go. Okay. So now tell me what is the reason why the light is glowing. So can you guys tell me the reason why the light is glowing? Hmm. Can you please tell me why the light is glowing? Somebody who can. Okay, it's pretty simple, right? Okay, so the light, the bulb will of course like produce light for simple reason that it's getting electricity. Yeah. So when the spool when we like when the wheel is moving, there's some energy that's getting generated. That's right. Yeah, creating some energy. So then the light is getting the electric energy from the small component which we call it as a dynamo. It might also look like we can also call it as a DC motor, but there's a small difference between the DC motor and the dynamo. Okay. So DC motor, like, see, the property of the DC motor is that you give a small power, it should start spinning fast. Okay. The property of a generator, the how they design it, that even if you give a small spin, it should produce a lot of power. Okay. So that's the difference between a DC motor and a dynamo. Okay. So this is basically a dynamo. Okay. So of course we can also do this with DC motor, but with DC motor, you need to give a lot of the spin. You need to spin it very fast for it to produce electricity. So that's the problem with DC motor. Okay. We don't use a DC motor, but a dynamo. Okay, where even if you give a small spin, it starts like producing electricity. Okay, so but the dynamo, you can see that the electricity, the bulb is getting the electricity from the dynamo, and the dynamo is basically connected to the pulley here. There's a big pulley here. That's So there's a big pulley here to which I have connected it using just a rubber band. Rubber band, you can actually technically call it as a belt which can transfer mechanical power. Okay, it's a pulley to pulley power that's getting transferred. And I have a big wheel. So can anybody tell me why I've used a big wheel here, a big pulley here? So any idea? Just tell me. Can somebody tell me why? What happens? Okay. I'm just waiting for somebody to just type in. Okay, basically the idea of using the big wheel is that I take like I just turn it one round, and there's a small pulley here which will take multiple rounds. Okay, I just turn one circle. Okay, and this guy here, this small pulley here, it takes multiple turn. Okay, so my one turn would be like, so this is like close to about like 9 turns actually. One turn here is like close to 9 rotations here. Okay, so then see here, I'm just doing like slowly, I'm turning, and I'm able to produce the light. Okay, so now now there are like so many forms of energy in this particular activity itself. There's so many forms of energy. Can anybody tell me what are the different forms of energy you see in this activity? Different forms of energy. Which are the different forms of energy that we see in this what activity? Please tell me. So there's some conclusion we want to make. Okay, so for making that, we need to understand that the different forms of energy in this activity.
Oh, I was basically waiting for somebody to ping. Nobody has pinged. Okay, somebody to type. Okay. Fine, it's pretty simple, children. Like, of course, the light is glowing because of electrical energy, right? You can always type electric energy, at least one that you can surely guess, right? Without electric energy, the light will not glow, right? And this bulb is basically giving out light. Okay, so light itself is also a form of energy. Light itself is a form of energy. So there's light energy, then there's electric energy, and then this moving, we call this as a mechanical energy. And who is moving it? I'm moving it, okay, with the energy that is there in my body, okay, which we call it as a muscular energy. Okay, so the muscular energy now, which is there in my like body, is getting transferred. It's getting transformed to become an mechanical energy. The mechanical energy is then transferred to the dynamo. So the dynamo is taking the mechanical energy and producing electric energy, and the light is producing light. So light is also a form of energy. Okay, there are four forms of energy. So the idea of what I was trying to tell is that, so we can basically generate electricity by any method. Okay, we can use any method, but there should be a source of energy. We cannot just generate electricity just like a magic. Okay, it's not a magic. Okay, so you cannot just like all of a sudden tell that, okay, I've created electric energy. No, we cannot create it. Okay, we are basically generating it, or we are producing it with the help of other form of energy. Okay, for example, like when somebody said that we can generate electricity by spinning water. Okay, so basically the water is stored at a very in a dam, and it's allowed to flow and hit a turbine, which we call it as a water wheel or a water turbine. Okay, then that starts spinning. That is connected to the generator. Then the generator produces electricity. Okay, so then in case of like solar energy, like I'm not showing you solar energy here. As a solar energy, again you're taking the sunlight, right? You're taking sunlight and then converting that into electric energy. So in nuclear, it's like the nuclear fission that produces heat. So you're using that heat to produce electric energy. Okay. So now, so to produce electric energy, we need to basically have a source of energy. That source of energy could be anything. Okay. The source of energy could be anything. Okay, so to produce electricity, we need another source of energy, and like very basic source of energy, which is naturally available. Again, as I said, human beings cannot create energy. Okay, so we are basically trying to untap the energy that is already there in the nature. Okay, that's what we are trying to do. So it can be nuclear energy, it can be thermal, it can be like hydroelectric. So everything is there in the nature, and we are trying to use different appliances or different instruments to basically untap that energy to convert that into an electric energy. But once it comes to electric energy, we know that we can use it the way we want. We can use it for refrigeration, we can use it for heating, we can use it for like running motor, pumping, and everything, right? Okay, so it's very important that like you find a source of energy that has the potential to produce electricity at a big level, so that it will be able to use it. Okay, so that's very important. So for example, we said geothermal energy. Yes, geothermal energy, we have geothermal energy, we can use it for generating electricity, but it doesn't produce electricity to that great level where we can like what supply to people, and like people can use it. Okay, geothermal energy has its own problems. Okay, we cannot produce, of course we can produce electricity, but it doesn't produce electricity at such a large scale that we can distribute it to people for use. Okay, so people are still working on that. Maybe in future there might be some advance in like the advance in technology and all the stuff. There might be a possibility that you just use the geothermal, that is the heat under the earth, to produce large scale electricity. Right now we are not able to produce large scale electricity. Okay, so but the most important thing, children, we need to understand from today's class is that the electricity, to produce electricity, we need to form one more source of energy. So it's very important to find that one more source of energy, right? So right now there are several sources of energy. One is hydro. Okay, then we have wind, we have solar, we have thermal electricity. How does the thermal power station work? Thermal power station, the basic input for the thermal power station is coal. Okay, coal is again available in nature, right? We know that. So we take coal and they burn the coal to heat up water. Okay, once they heat up water, what happens? The water vaporizes, and that vapor is compressed, or it's allowed to like increase the pressure, like in the pressure cooker. Okay, the pressure increases, and when the steam comes out, the steam is directed towards a turbine, which we call it as a steam turbine. Okay, so then that turbine starts spinning, and that turbine is connected to a generator, and the generator produces electricity. So there's so much. Again, see here, you have coal, your coal is burnt, the heat is produced, the heat is used for raising the temperature of the water, that gets converted into steam, and the steam is directed towards the steam turbine for it to spin and to generate electricity. So there's so much of process that is there to basically produce electricity. So that's the whole reason, like we keep on telling that like we need to save energy, save electricity, for a simple reason that because there's a huge process those goes behind producing electricity. Okay, it's not an easy task, and in spite of that, what happens is that suppose we put in 100 rupees, for example, 100 what percentage of energy, the energy that we are getting out is 70%. So 30% is just going waste because there's a lot of process in between. The process basically consumes the other 30%. So but ultimately what happens is you have to spend 100 rupees to get 70 rupees of electricity. So that's the scenario right now. Okay, so that's the whole reason they tell that please save energy, so that like we can save upon the natural resources. For example, coal is a natural resource, right? So because now recently, I think just like about 8-10 months back, there was a lot of issues that we were not getting coals. We are importing coals from the other country. Okay, audible, children? Fine. Any questions, children? Please ask me in case you have any questions. So like so it was very important for the scientists to identify the sources of several sources of energy which could be used for producing electricity. Okay, am I audible? Did I go blank in between by any chance? Was there some? Okay, somebody is asking, like, who is asking? Veer, is it? Okay, Shardul is asking, can we generate electricity by plants, or what is that? What's your full question? I'm not able to see the full question actually. Plants or compost? Okay, of course we can do that. Actually, using plants also they are trying out. See, children, the basic idea behind all these things with plants and all the stuff is because everything is made up of electricity, right? Everything is made up of atom. So once you speak about atom, then of course there would be there is electrons in it. Okay, so every living being basically has electricity in it. Even our body is carrying electricity. We are like live and functioning just because of that electricity that is flowing in our body. Okay, okay, so like that, like even with plants also they're trying out basically. Okay, and they have figured out that there are particular plants using which we can generate electricity. Again, as I said, it's almost like the thermal geothermal setup, where like we are not able to produce electricity at a very large scale so that you can distribute it to people. Okay, compost, yes, compost, what they do is, using compost you can basically generate biogas. Using biogas you can heat up the water, and then again it becomes, you can use that for spinning the steam turbine. Yeah, but again, maintaining a compost is very difficult task, children, because you need to be very careful about what kind of ingredients you're putting into the compost. Okay, if you put wrong ingredient, then it will just kill all the gas that is actually already produced by the other biodegradable stuffs. Okay, so these are possible, everything is possible, but still we haven't figured out a way how we can do the large scale power generation for this. Okay, so that's where we are. Yeah, so any other questions you have, you can please ask me. Any other questions? Sidiksha, I did not hear from you, Baba. So, any questions for you? Sidiksha and Ishan has not asked me any questions so far. Ishan, anything you want to ask? Okay, Shilan. So, like again, I would like to just conclude to repeat certain things so that we can conclude things. Okay. So again, as I said, electricity generation is not a magic. Okay. So we cannot do magic to create electricity. So we need to find another strong source of energy, which can get transferred, which can get transformed by some methods to produce electricity. Okay. And as I said, there's a huge amount of process that goes behind generating electricity. Okay, so that process itself consumes lot of energy, and there's a lot of loss in it. As I said, it's like you give 100 rupees, you invest 100 rupees and you get back just 70 rupees. So that's the status, and that's the whole reason we tell that, okay, we have to save electricity. So that saving electricity also means that we are saving the natural resources. It can be water, it can be coal, it can be anything else. Okay, any natural resources we are using for producing electricity. Okay, so that's the whole reason we keep repeatedly telling that, like, we have to save electricity. So saving electricity, as I said, indirectly we are saving the natural resources. Okay, but there are various forms, geothermal and plants and everything, still working on all those ways of like producing, using them as a natural source to produce electricity. But unfortunately, we still haven't grown up to the level of producing it in large scale. Okay, so any questions? We have some time, so I can take more questions. If you can ask, that would be great. So as I said previously, like the PrayogPeti box, it has all the experiments, all the material that is required for doing experiments throughout the year. And the idea behind, again, the idea behind the PrayogPeti concept is that we want you all to set up a small laboratory at home. So that's the whole idea. So you do it for like first year, 2 years, then you already have like lots of material which you can reuse for creating new stuffs. Okay. Good, children. So what I'll do is we'll break for today. So then, we'll continue the session in the next class with a different activity. Okay. So see you all. Take care. Bye.